Okay, so we have a big breaking news coming out. President Donald Trump signs executive order to dismantle the Department of Education. Please share this video, subscribe, and thank you so much for your support. The move fulfills a long-standing conservative goal to return education authority to the states, with backers arguing that the agency has spent over $3 trillion since its inception with little to show for it. The catch? President Donald Trump can gut the department, yet only Congress can formally abolish it. The Education Department staff has already been cut by 50%, diversity programs exit, and federal funding threatened for non-compliant schools. Democrats call the move a disaster. Legal experts predict court challenges. Man, prepare for all these chaos. And state officials are scrambling to fill the void. With Congress divided, President Donald Trump may use slow attrition to force lawmakers' hands. Wow. See, this is why we homeschool, me and my wife. My wife does, the homeschool. I work. My job is to pay the bills, put food on the table, provide for my family. My wife does an amazing job homeschooling the kids, and we do all the food growing and everything. So we kind of live off the grid. But we decided to homeschool when 2020 broke out, and everything was online. So from there, we just decided to continue doing a homeschool, and it's the best decision we ever made, because these schools, the education and stuff, it's a whole different ball game. It's just a whole different ball game, and I just feel like the school nowadays teaching these young ones stuff that's not necessary. You guys know what I'm talking about. A lot of the colorful stuff, all these, again, they don't teach young ones the Constitution. The Bibles has been removed from all schools. I mean, America back in the days, we had Bibles. We had the Constitution. Now everything has been replaced with all the colorful stuff, the abomination. So once again, we're going to see what's going on here. Once again, Donald signs executive order to dismantle the Department of Education. Guys, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and description box. Thank you so much for your support. President Donald Trump was set to sign an executive order Thursday afternoon, which he already did, aimed at dismantling the U.S. Department of Education, setting up the most contentious and far-reaching battlefront in his fight to push the bounds on presidential authority. Now, there's going to be a lot of lawsuit. There's going to be a lot of, Democrats are going to get involved, the left. So this here is going to be a huge battle. Yet, the immediate impact of the directive remains unclear, given that fully dissolving the department created by Congress in 1979 would require action from Congress. Though the White House continues to use words like close, an official acknowledged that the department would continue operating in some form, albeit as a significantly smaller agency, and continue to administer critical programs. The Trump administration has shown it is willing to ignore laws set by Congress to cut federal programs through Elon Musk, Department of Gov Efficiency, and dismantle entire agencies such as the U.S. Agency for International Development. Those efforts, however, have hit roadblocks in federal court. Here's the reason why. For those of you that don't know, you have the USAID, the USAID or USAID. The reason why stuff went down with them is because they were sending our tax money to the world. Yes, our beloved tax money to the world. We were taking care of the world for the last couple of decades. All right, so tax money belongs to the American people. Yes, to us. This is why we haven't gotten too much help when it comes to world catastrophic events, hurricanes, and wildfire. We only get $700 or $750 one time payment. Meanwhile, the world is getting billions. Is that fair? We pay tax. So when things hit the fan, let's say we get hit by an earthquake or something, that money come back to us and fix and rebuild, right? No, not anymore. It goes to the world. Bracing for a total upheaval of the department, the head of a leading teachers union promised to sue the Trump administration over actions. Unbelievable, man. And Donald said that he has more indictment than Al Capone. And I do believe so. I believe it 100%. This man has seen so much lawsuit, it's not even funny. Again, his nickname should be the lawsuit. How does Donald Trump say he'll change the education department? Well, President Donald Trump is directing his education secretary, Linda McMahon, again, that's Vince McMahon's wife from WWE, to take all necessary steps to facilitate the closure of Department of Education and return education authorities to the states, according to a White House summary of the order, which has been in the works for weeks. The order simultaneously calls for the uninterrupted delivery of services, programs, and benefits on which Americans rely. Key federal programs for schools are housed within the Education Department cannot be removed from the department unless Congress passes laws authorizing such a move. Our kids deserve better. Our kids deserve better. You know, I remember I was 13 years old, 7th grade, or almost heading towards like the 8th grade. But there was this, special guest that came to the science class. I think it was science or Department of Health. I think it was Department of Health. And they brought in mason jars, right? And it was like green water in there. And, they just set up the mason jars on the table. And it was like, right here we have, the aborted babies in a mason jar. And I'm like, wow, they look like aliens. And, I'm like 12 or 13. I wasn't into politics. I don't know what in the world was going on, but they were teaching that in school. And just thinking about it now, I feel really disgusted to my stomach. This is why it's good to homeschool. It's good to homeschool. Now they're teaching a whole bunch of crazy stuff. I mean, things that is out of control. It's like, things that would, it's like the lake of fire, They were teaching, again, they were taking out tax money and teaching the world about the abomination. And then the first thing that pops in my head is the mystery Babylon that, been spreading the wine poison to the world, which is like a metaphor speaking of, spreading all these evil abominations and stuff. The White House press secretary, Carolyn, told reporters Thursday that the education department wouldn't be abolished under Trump order, but will be much smaller than it is today, adding that Linda McMahon intends to greatly minimize the agency's size. Once again, give me a second here, guys. There we go. The press secretary said the ultimate goal is to have the federal gov spend less on public education by cutting wasteful spending while protecting critical programs. She did not identify what the White House determined is waste. All right. So what do you guys think? Leave comments down below. Leave comments down below. Donald Trump just made a massive move. Bombshell move. Here's another one. Trump to sign order at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, okay, so it's going to be 4 p.m. Eastern Time to eliminate the Department of Education. Buckle up. There's going to be a lot of lawyers, a lot of lawsuits, A lot of Democrats out there going cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. President Donald Trump will sign a historic executive order today directing Education Secretary Linda McMahon to begin shutting down the Department of Education, delivering on a major campaign promise. The plan slashes federal control, ends DEI, excuse me, and DEI and gender ideology. Yes, man, get rid of that. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. That's it. No more. You can't be teaching young ones the abomination stuff. All right, and return power to parents and states and communities. So what's wrong with that? Why is people going cuckoo for Cocoa Puff? Despite lawsuits and panic from the left, Donald Trump says after $1 trillion wasted and test scores collapsing, enough is enough. Wow. Enough is enough. I agree. How come that picture looks like enough is enough? It looks like this right here. It's similar. Enough is enough. Alright, so again, this is where we at right now, guys. Leave comments down below. What are your thoughts? Hey, like I said, we're gonna continue homeschooling. We're gonna do it. We're gonna continue homeschooling. It just nowadays, I just feel like under certain political parties, when it comes to getting involved in schools and stuff like that, I just feel like, yeah, these are my young ones. You know what? Again, God is saying, God is like, that's your young one. I'm giving you your young one. And I love that young one. I'm giving you that young one. I love that young one more than you love him or her. So it's our job. Parents, it's our job to raise them, to teach them, to read them scriptures, and to sit down with them and teach them. But if you send them to one of these, you know what? Don't act surprised if they come home acting like Roman soldiers. Don't be shocked when they come home acting like Roman soldiers. Again, it's not bad, again, to have them in school, but at least sit down with them and ask them how school went. Show me what they teach you. Tell me what they teach you. Just sit down one-on-one with your young ones and explain to them that, all the situation that didn't went good in school. Explain to them and talk to them and teach them about the Word of God too is very important. Thank you so much for watching. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Till next time later. Peace.